all starts with you. And this is what we see a lot. Are you going down the right road, i.e. the positive leadership? Are you actually taking responsibility, ownership, action, decisiveness? Or are you using negative leadership behaviors? Are you getting distracted, excuses, attack and denial, dictatorship, ego, no control, or drained? Paul, which is your negative ones that you do?
I can probably see various times up in all of the dead end ones.
We've all got our favorite places to go. And the great thing about having accountability with a coach is they stop you from going there for too long. And this is key. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And that's the reality, is if you think you can't grow your practice, you won't. If you think you can, you can. And also the key point is here, you have to take action. You can't just go, I want to. You actually have to take action. You actually have to move forward. And insanity, this is not Einstein, by the way. He did not say this quote, but it's always wrongly attributed to him. They think it's somebody called Rita Mae Brown. Actually said insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. We're in the position that the rules of the game have changed since the coronavirus hit, which if you're going to do more than just survive right now, you've got to adapt and change how you do things or how you're supporting your clients. They're wanting different things. Now, the growing pains model is one that we use quite a lot. So you start your business or you start a new phase in your business and it's new beginning. So you get this lovely emotional roller coaster and everything's really exciting, but petrifying and exciting and petrifying. And then you realize that you're going 2 paces forward and then 1 pace back, or 2 paces forward and 3 paces back. And you cannot carry on like this. So you get to that stuck brick wall. And every time you get to a brick wall, it is characterized by huge amounts of frustration. And if you're going to get through that first stuck brick wall, and it really does feel like you are stuck, absolutely stuck. You've got to go back to, what is my why? What's my role in moving this forward? What's my identity going forward? What is my practice going to be about? Once you've got through stuck, you then get this lovely bit of where it all calms down a bit. And you get this lovely growth starting it. And it's a lot easier. Now, you might whiz through the comfort brick wall without even realizing it. And this is where the fire that drove you isn't quite burning as bright as it was, because you've got to that point of that you've got comfortable with being uncomfortable. This is often where you find yourself not thinking anything of working at the weekends, because that's what you've always done. You've got comfortable with being uncomfortable. So you've got to go through. And as Paul says, we are defined by what we say no to. So you've got to go through the comfort zone trap. And Paul, have I said to you at times you've been in the comfort zone trap, that you've got comfortable with being uncomfortable?
Yeah, because sometimes, when you've been doing overtime for years, you feel guilty that you're not doing it. You think, I should be doing something,
Yeah, absolutely. So you then get to the point where you go through the comfort zone trap and your growth carries on, but it starts slowing down. And that's because you start running out of one of those 4 key ingredients. So you hit this next brick wall, and sometimes it can be a big, we had that in our team where we're trying to get, the new band member and it's not going well. We're trying to bring in the new band member. We're going to get it right this time. But once again, you've got to revisit, what's my why? What am I here to do? What's your responsibility, your identity, your relationships, your skills, your process, and your structure? And typically you then go on from that transition and you'll grow again until you hit another transition, and then you'll grow again. The reality is, if you're going to get through this, you've got to sometimes face that brutal reality. The emotional cycle of change says, if you're going to get through those brick walls, if you're going to get through that, but you've got to actually really, to move forward, you've got to actually acknowledge that you're there. If your cash flow is low, you need to take action. You can't just ignore that. If you're not getting enough right quality leads, you need to do something differently.